welcome to this very special edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at the 15th Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival here in downtown Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival has 2 days beginning at 12 o'clock, going into 11 o'clock. Tremendous acts from all over the world, ranging from R&B, blues, and jazz. For more information, please visit them online at pittsburghjazzfest.org. This year headlining the Jazz Festival is vocalist Michael Mayo, who hails from Los Angeles. Now, in the span of 10 years, this gentleman has gotten the attention to music fans all over the world. What I like about Michael is that he's really this generation's version of Al Jarreau, meaning that he can not only scat, but he can also improvise as well as write some very beautiful songs. Now, as you might know, Michael was the third vocalist to be accepted to the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz, which is now the Herbie Hancock Institute. And he was mentored by Herbie as well as Wayne Shorter and Dianne Reeves. Now, he got into music because his mother and father are musicians. In fact, his father was a member of Earth, Wind & Fire. But as a kid, he got bit by the bug, and actually, vocalist Gretchen Parlato, who also attended the high school that Michael attended, really kind of pushed him into getting into vocal. Tonight here on the Pace Report, you're going to see highlights of Michael performing music from his current Mack Avenue Records release, Fly. And I also had a chance to sit down and break bread with him, one, to talk about his musical influences, him being young and leading the band, and also what he's trying to bring musically to Black American music. So sit back, relax, and enjoy highlights of Mr. Michael Mayo performing music from his current Mack Avenue's record release, Fly, here at the 15th Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival, here in downtown Pittsburgh, here on the Pace Report.
Anytime, maybe I can find alive in open doors.
having me. You are flying high.
Trying.
This record is amazing. Originals as well as some standards. And I want to ask you how this second project is bipolar opposite of your debut.
So this project, I had a very different idea in mind for this project. I really wanted the Fly project to feel sort of light and buoyant and free floating. I wanted it to be kind of familiar yet surprising. I like to sort of ride that line. With the Bones project, which I still love and absolutely stand by, that was more of kind of a letter to myself to sort of pay homage to a lot of the stuff that I had been going through along those years. And with this one, I wanted to hit the ground running with something new and fresh. That's kind of what I had in mind.
When you did 4 and you brought up Nancy, who introduced you to this, 4 has been played as a standard, but vocally, we don't get too many people who stand on this song.
Yeah.
You're standing on the Elders. Tell me why you chose this.
I have always loved the song, even before I knew the lyric. I always thought it was just a really cool tune. There's a lot of really beautiful harmonies in there. The melody is really cool, the way that Miles plays it. And it was very captivating for me, even at a really young age. I think I first heard the melody when I was maybe 16. And then when I heard the lyric, I don't exactly remember how old I was. Probably would have been college, so maybe like 20, 21. Something kind of clicked for me when I heard Nancy King and Fred Hirsch, who have a beautiful duo album together. I heard that lyric and I was like, I think I want to do something with that someday. And I don't know, the stars kind of aligned, and when I was picking tunes, I remembered this song, and it kind of just like made sense right away.
You know, paying homage to the Elders, and you're walking in your own lane. How is it bridging the gap when you're performing amongst the Elders, but also the younger crowd?
I think that at its core, part of jazz is about forging new paths, right? It's a music of liberation and community and exploration and play, right? And resistance and all these beautiful things. And I think for me, I've always been really attracted to the play and the exploration side of things. I don't always want to do things that feel like they've been done before. And I'm not necessarily talking about songs, right? Because all these standards have been done a million times before. I'm saying taking them and utilizing them in new ways. And so I am trying to pay respect to the tradition by taking that aspect of it, which is to be forward thinking. That's kind of what I like to lead with.
You know, Michael, the thing that I love about what you're doing is you're taking also songs from your generation and putting it out there. Do you think that it's very important to kind of get away from the great traditional American songbook and start bringing in guys like Nirvana and guys like Andre 3000, Outkast? I mean, I'm just giving you a myriad, but is it important to do that now to jazz?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that I don't think that it was ever meant to be a closed book. I think that the book was always supposed to remain open and continue being added to. You know, I think of somebody like Terry Lynn Carrington. She made her New Standards album for that very reason. It's because there's amazing music that's always being made, and to me it doesn't really make sense to pretend like these however many songs, 200, 300, 400 songs, are the only good songs to ever have been written. I think there was beautiful music before that, and they are beautiful music themselves, and there will continue to be beautiful music after that.
I want to talk about your upbringing, LA. Your father and your mother were steeped in Black American music.
Oh yeah.
And somehow it must have, I gotta do this. What was your first musical knowledge that you came into via your mother and your father?
I mean, the question makes sense, but it's a really hard question to answer, because for me it was very, you know, when you're a kid, you take it as given, right? The things that you experience just feel very normal, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized, oh no, to be surrounded by, you know, to like meet Luther Vandross when you're 3 years old is weird. Like, that's not normal. And so I don't necessarily think of it as like specific lessons that they actively taught me. It was more just being steeped in the culture, right? You know, I have a lot of friends who grew up with different backgrounds who, you know, they remember the specific moment when they found Stevie Wonder's music, for example. For me, it's just like, that's what's on. Stevie Wonder's music is what's on. Donny Hathaway's music is what's on. Aretha is on. Luther is on. Whitney is on. And so, like, it just feels like a part of my blood cells, all this stuff. And then when it comes to jazz, it felt like when I discovered that, there was sort of like a missing link that I didn't even know was missing, that suddenly I was like, oh, I see how that ties. I see how it all sort of ties together. And it all kind of is part of one continuum for me.
You know, I read something interesting. Gretchen Parlato, who happened to graduate from the same high school that you, she kind of was steering you into this music direction also.
She was, yeah, so she went to the same high school, the LA County High School for the Arts, where we both went. We weren't there at the same time, but I think, I want to say either my freshman or sophomore year in high school, she came and gave us a master class, and I think she was fresh off of the Monk competition that she had won, and she had started doing all this really cool stuff, and it just was really inspiring to me to see someone that went to my same school out there crushing it. And I had already fallen in love with jazz at that point, but I think having kind of an example closer to my age made it seem more possible. And she's definitely a large inspiration.
Who are some of your musical influences, vocally and also writing?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, in no particular order: Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Bobby McFerrin, Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross, D'Angelo, Brandy, Gerald Clayton. There, I mean, Freddie Hubbard. Like, there's so I could truly, you know, go on and on. But there's so many people. Nat King Cole. There's so many people that have like really influenced me and informed my musicality, whether actively or just like listening to them a lot.
When did you really start diving into jazz? When did you start really kind of listening to the jazz? Was that through your dad, or did you kind of have to personally go out and listen and find this out?
It was both. I mean, I started, I didn't really know much about jazz until high school. So the summer before I started high school, because you have to audition to get into LOXA, which is the school. Back then, the vocal department was either opera or jazz, and I, at that point, wasn't really interested in opera, so I just happened to choose jazz. That summer, before I started, my dad gave me Kind of Blue to listen to, and my granny, my mom's mom, gave me best of Ella Fitzgerald. There's like 150 songs, and suddenly I went from not having any jazz on my computer library to having a bunch. and I fell in love right away. I wouldn't say that I caught the bug necessarily. I just really liked it. I would say that I caught the bug when I was probably 16. My junior year of high school is when I started really like shedding and actually caring about sounding good and learning tunes and, you know, learning harmony and all these things. But it definitely started in high school.
You graduated from the Boston
New England Conservatory.
New England Conservatory.
Yeah.
Now that's not really known for jazz. That's more a classical environment as opposed to the school down the street, which is Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like going there?
NEC actually has like quite a long jazz legacy. I think it maybe can fly under the radar sometimes. For me, it was a really great 4 years of study and learning and practice and vocal techniques with a vocal teacher there. Her name is Dominique Eade, and she was really the first time that I started to develop a vocal technique and practice routine, and she sort of helped me understand my voice in new ways and explore new types of music. I learned about Betty Carter there. I learned about Nancy King there. I learned about a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff there. And it really prepared me well it gave me a lot of musicianship skills for the things that would come after that as well.
What do you tell a musician who's attending a conservatory music school right now? What are some of the things that you would tell them to hone in on to become, because the band stage is, our elders are leaving us, and it's becoming like, that was where a lot of these musicians got their talent. What do you tell the younger generation?
In general, I say a lot of the classics, like stay in the shed, right? Like keep practicing, because there's no way around it. Keep listening, keep exposing yourself to new types of music. Rest when you need to. Try not to burn out on this stuff. And then to like really get deep on your musicianship skills, like your theory, your ear training, your harmony, and then to understand the social context of what brought this music into being. I think a lot of folks, I have the benefit of being black and growing up in America in that it's my cultural inheritance, right? It's our cultural inheritance. Right. And so like there's certain aspects of it that are not as mysterious to me because it just is in us, right? And I think for a lot of other people, they have to approach it with a little bit more. I mean, we all have to approach it with humility, but I think for a lot of other folks, they need to approach it with a little bit more humility and realize that like they're kind of guests in the space, and that's something that took me a while to be able to even verbalize. And then beyond that, your community is so important. You know, the people that you are with in school now are most likely going to be the people that you're playing with. Me and Robin, the drummer in my band, we were freshman year college roommates. Me and Andrew, the piano player in my band, we went to high school together. And we've been playing together ever since. We lived together for some time, and so it's like, you have to foster those relationships because those really give back over time.
Cold as a fire, soft as a rock, moving and still, immune to the cloud, gravity pulls from under the skin, waters of will and fires within, throwing liquid shards at the ground, marveling at the thunderous sound, crippling cold that burns with its touch, and all of the sound brought to a hush. Give me a pain, give me a word that make them feel the same. Oh yeah, get yourself silent, and when it rains, you'll have the love to wild the storm away. You are a soul traveling the sky, coming that burns and blazes the night, spawning the world with only your mind. Out of the darkness, you are the light, but it seems you don't know how to do it after all. How to do it after all. How to do it alone. You got it in the night, you will be fine. You better know. Give me a pain, give me a word and make them feel the same. Oh yeah, get that good solid. And when it rains, you'll find a love to while the storm away. Oh, give me your name, give me your words that make them sound the same. Oh yeah, it's so solid. Yeah, oh when it rains, 'cause you're the night who holds the storm at bay.
The Thelonious Monk Institute of Music, now the Herbie Hancock Institute of Music, was very important to you. You had two very important mentors, one being the late great Wayne Shorter,
Yes.
and Herbie, and Dianne Reeves. I miss Wayne.
Yeah.
He's a very important figure to the composing and writing song, but
Yeah.
the spirit and the music. What was it like the first time you met him?
Wow. Wow. I mean, I was starstruck. And what's funny is I'm not the sort of person who gets starstruck very easily. Like for me, someone has to be like way, you know, for me to actually like be sort of stuttering. The first time I met Wayne was at the audition for the Institute, because basically you send in a pre-tape, and then if they like you, they invite you for a live audition. They fly you out to LA, and when you walk into the audition room, it's Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, Jimmy Heath, Kenny Burrell, and I'm just like, what? And I was the only singer. I was the only singer at the whole audition, and so I was scared, but I also was very determined, because I have a bit of a competitive streak. So I was like, I'm going to show them. You know, you have to show out if you're in that sort of environment. And that was my very first time meeting him. My first time actually like getting to sit down and talk with him. I realized immediately that he was one of the sharpest people around. I think a lot of people didn't really understand. People who knew him personally got it. People who didn't really know that, or maybe didn't understand it. But his mind was so sharp, and he approached the music with a type of humility and childlike wonder, I think is the term that people use, that astounded me. Because, you know, it would make sense with a legacy like that one could think that they act like they know it all, but he never, and Herbie either, they don't have that. They both are so grounded yet so universal. It's a really interesting combination.
What did he impart on you as a musician?
I think to sort of treat the music with both a gravity and a lightness. It's like, because you know he has this zero gravity concept, right? It's like the music deserves to be treated with respect, obviously, but there also needs to be a type of levity and lightness of touch that allows you to react and go with the flow and ebb and change as the music ebbs and changes, right? And we can't take it so seriously that our minds become closed to whatever those new possibilities are. But we also have to treat it seriously so that we're not so in the clouds that we're not paying attention to what's going on, right? It's like this interesting balance, I think, and that's one of the things I got from Wayne, for sure.
I see that, hearing that on your first record. It's very serious. As you coming out the gate, this is this is me, this is how it's gonna be, but also there's like this lightness to what your approach to music is. And I see that on the band stage with your band members. Is that something that's missing in this music now?
That's hard to say. I mean, it's so varied and there's so much stuff out there. I don't know if I can speak on what's missing from the music overall. I will say that I think, I do think that sometimes like the institution thing can cause people to be very close-minded. And I think that that does a disservice to the music because again, like at its core, it's a music of liberation, right? And so if you're constricting yourself, you're actually not liberating yourself. And for me, that's extremely important because, you know, if we get so tied to the specific sounds of what came before, I think we're, what's the phrase, missing the forest for the trees?
Forest, right.
Right? I think that if someone feels totally within themselves and resonating with only playing standards and they actually feel like they're doing something and saying something worthwhile, I think that's beautiful. Like truly, I think that's beautiful and great. And like, I will never say anything against that. But I think if someone is doing that because they're afraid of other things, or they feel like other things are unworthy or bad, or they put judgment on it, that's when I think it takes the scene down.
Again is frankly weird. This can't be ending. Whoa, two friends. Suddenly love dies, the story ends, and we're just friends. We're just friends. Somehow we're just friends. We're just friends.
Michael Mayo, what does Black American music mean to you?
Woo! Wow. Man, it's everything. I mean, for me, it's like, it's my granny's sweet potato pie. It's the music that's playing when we're all in the living room watching The Wiz and she's making a sweet potato pie. You know, it's like, it's me doing my homework while my mom is listening to Aretha Franklin and singing every riff. It's like, it's us like freestyling at recess in middle school. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's this cellular thing that really feels like it. I feel so lucky to be a part of the culture, right? And that it actually is my literal cultural inheritance. Like, that's such a privilege. And I think that the staying power and the impact of Black American music is so obvious because everybody wants a piece of it. And that's not necessarily the case with every musical tradition. And so, you know, even if we zoom out to the diaspora at large, I think that it's human, it's ancestral, it's really deep. And yeah, I don't know, I think for me it's kind of everything. It's the source of my whole thing. It's family, it's music, it's art, it's love, is what I would say.
That'll do it again for this very special edition of the Pace Report, reporting live here at this year's 2025 Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. I'd like to personally thank the incomparable Michael Mayo for his time. Make sure you support his current record Fly, which is now available on Mack, a.k.a. Records. And for more information on his upcoming tour dates and to also order his music, follow him online at michaelmayomusic.com, as well as social media by way of Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'd like to give a couple of mad shout outs right now. First of all, I'd like to personally thank and congratulate Miss Janice Burley, the artistic director of the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. You and your staff have shown wonderful hospitality over the last 3 days, and thank you again for inviting me here in the Pace Report. This is our third year doing this, and hope we can do this again next year. Also, I'd like to personally thank Miss Carolyn McClare of Carolyn McClare Public Relations for all the madness and craziness over the last 3 days arranging time with these artists. For more information on the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival for 2026, please visit them online at pittsburghinternationaljazzfest.org. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Till next time, peace.